Hello there, this is Big Benedict. We're playing God of War Ghost of Sparta on God difficulty, and this is my Pain Plus guide and walkthrough. We are currently on Installment the 12th, and it is the Thanatos boss fight. Thanatos is not very difficult. You notice you're fighting with your brother here. Your brother can get downed if he takes too much damage, as he has taken it right here. But do you see when the boss puts his sword into the ground and throws throws dirt at you? It's a pretty difficult move to dodge if you don't use the combat roll, or if you aren't able to see him. Perhaps he's at the very bottom of the screen and you're at the top. Well, if you have the insignia on the bottom left completely lit up, that means that you can press the down button and activate a move for Deimos, your brother, which will throw one of the javelins at the boss. So when you are facing a situation like right there, had Deimos been able to use the spear, we could have prevented the boss from doing that. Okay, we did it. So that's the extent of what Deimos can contribute to the fight. You can make this fight faster by being on top of this boss and just being completely ruthless and very consistent and not letting up. But sometimes you're trying to use the spear with Deimos and he throws it at the wrong direction, especially when the boss is at the top of the cliff to the left. But here's the first of the two phases that feature this part of Deimos. Thanatos. Thanatos is going to vomit what looks like the scourge at you, and what you are going to do is just stand in the bottom left here, wait to parry the scourge, and then roll up to the arm, and then use Thera's Bane to use your combos, whatever you prefer to do. Deimos sometimes can get in the way of the scourge, which can mess you up pretty significantly. If you just block the scourge, you don't take damage, but it drops you and you can't move for a moment. And then he can throw another one, and there's a potential that you can get hit. But just always avail yourself of Deimos. It's actually a really fun fight. It's not too difficult. It has good checkpoints, the first of which is coming up right over here after we put enough damage on him and break his arm enough. This next phase, though, can have up to 3 segments to it. I'm not sure how many I got. It has to do with what quick time event you get and how many times you drop him as fast as you can. But the most important thing that we need to talk about for this first segment of phase 2 is that he has a different attack pattern, Thanatos does. So in a moment this thing's going to fly off. We're going to get our checkpoint, and you have to give Thanatos' wings a really wide berth. Okay, so remember to keep using Deimos to prevent that attack where he throws dirt at you. And then he has 2 different variations of what he does, but they're not very dissimilar. The first one is that he attacks with his wings, so you need to avoid that. Just don't come anywhere near that, and roll in the opposite direction. Try not to roll anywhere near the wings, because it has a huge hurt box just with your name on it, so be very careful. But what it is that he'll fly over to you, unblockable. You'll roll away from that. You'll roll back, and you're going to be dealing with one of his 2 attacks. He'll either do 1 swing, or he will do 2 attacks, which you can block both of which, or parry both of which. It's up to you. If you're really concerned and you don't want to see like this, you don't want to mess around with it too much, a simple block will suffice. But, in the background, keep activating Deimos. The regeneration time for Deimos' weapons is very good. The only drawback, I think, is that Deimos falls in combat too much. So, a bit of a shame, but it's a fun fight. And not much nonsense, except that wing flap. That's pretty tough, but he doesn't have a huge breadth of moves, as you can see. Okay, see, I tried to throw the spear at the boss up there, but Deimos wasn't cooperating. So we should be getting into the second form again, and second form is similar to the first one, but I think we have another segment here to deal with, and he is pretty fast. And that wing flap, boy, you really need to be out of the way of that. I tried to get through it with iframes and stuff, but the hurt box is just too wide. I am going to use iframes on the last form when you have your superpowers. Is he done yet? Throw the spear up there. See? Throw the spear up there. What the hell is wrong with this shit sometimes? But anyway, here we have this. He's going to do the familiar vomiting of the Scourge. Combat roll up to this. Activate Demos, do your super plumes. Come back here and then prepare to jump. And if you need more hang time for the shockwave on the ground, just attack a couple of times. And that's basically it. And it's a pattern that never deviates too, so he doesn't switch anything up on you. But you really do need to get back to the corner fast, jump, and then roll up to him. And he doesn't have much life. He really doesn't. And after you put this phase down, you will get another checkpoint. We should get the circle prompt pretty soon. There we go. Okay, so with the circle prompt there intact, we are going to have the super form where all of our attacks utilize Thera's Bane. It's something that you can't control. On this part here, just continually press the down button until it's all over, because there's like 2 or 3 times you have to do it. So if you're just spamming it, you'll never miss it. Okay, and then your brother's gonna die over here, unfortunately, and then on this part over here, this part can be a little tricky. You'd think that you'd be invincible having all your superpowers, but what I like to do is just roll through his arm there to not take damage, and then on this one, just jump. Then just repeat ad nauseum, roll, and then jump on it. It couldn't be easier, but if you're trying to hurry through this and not take damage, it can be a bit of a nightmare. But once he's dropped, he's not completely done, but you want to run up to his face and smash him with combos. And then, hey, that's it. We've done Pain Plus. We only took damage 1 time on the Gerons, and I know you might be thinking, well, go back and try to do the Gerons and, no damage that. Yeah, I really don't know. I like the fight that I had with the Gerons, but believe me, I couldn't be more pleased that this project's done. And in the best way possible. This game is fantastic, and I want to say ahead of its time because it was on the PSP, and it really shows you how good art direction and combat can fall into place and have just a terrific experience. It's just absolutely fun. And the thing of it is too, it's when you think about it, it's both basic and complex, which is nice for the people who want to casually play the game, and it's also great for folks, like myself or other people who like to do challenge runs and have fun. But I really thank you for being here. I hope that if you do set out to do a guide like this, or maybe you can just do it for fun, or if you are trying to do a guide of your own, for whatever, for bragging rights or just for fun. In terms of, let's see, the only other game that I've Pain Plus would be God of War 3. So now I have Pain Plus 2 of the titles, and I've got to be honest, it was terrific fun. I don't say I'm having the time of my life very often, so when you do hear me say those words, you definitely should believe that I'm having a fantastic time, and it was just. It was so wonderful to be able to bring this project to people, maybe surprise them. I know I surprised a lot of folks because they didn't think that I was going to be doing this challenge run. I've in the past mentioned that it's undoable for me, but I'm going to have to stop saying that so much because it limits you as a person and as somebody who's trying to just get things done. But yeah, there we go. 12 installments, Ghost of Sparta, completely Pain Plus. We only took damage in 1 spot, and I love God of War. That's it. I mean, it's such a great game. It's so fantastic. But I hope that everything was to your liking. I hope it helped you in those special places where you needed help and where the game was quite demanding. And I wouldn't change anything that I did in this walkthrough, quite honestly. So please remember to take care, and I will see you in my next project. Thank you very much, and take care.